All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you are in the world. First of all, can you guys hear me loud and clear? Before we start, I'm just gonna give it a few more seconds until everybody logs in. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me well for the time being. And you can see the screen at least. All right, well, that's really good. Well, we had like some technical difficulties at the beginning of the session. That's why we were kind of like 5 minutes, 7 minutes late, but anyway, we still have time. Right, I think. Okay. All right, give me a second. Let me just fix the mic. All right, well, long day ahead of us today as everybody's waiting for the US jobs report. US jobs report live coverage here. Here we go. Link sent. All right. Well, welcome everybody from wherever you are in the world. Let me just check the camera so we can also start. I guess good from this side, good from the other side. So let's see how we can do that. Oops. Okay, let's open up our camera and open up. Where's the now has unlike my screen? Where's the main screen? I guess that's the one. All right, so welcome for another live streaming. Let me just fix one more time. The mic is too high, I guess. Okay, so it's another day in another month with the U.S. jobs report today. Uh, okay, so uh, I know that I've been away for quite some time. But that was actually because I had to move some places, and at the same time I got married, so I stayed away from the market for a little while. But anyway, here we are today, and new live streaming, and in a few minutes we will be waiting for the U.S. Jobs report, and hopefully today the live stream would work perfectly, or at least until now we're looking good. If you have any questions, and as always, just put it in the comment section, and I will answer it step by step. Today, now, I mean, currently it's almost 7:15 a.m. where I am located right now. But let's put some ground rules today for the live streaming. Um, uh, First of all, we're not going to be reacting to any of the numbers that will be announced today. Meaning, we're not once the numbers comes out, we're not going to just gonna go ahead like buy or sell. We'll wait for the numbers. We'll read the numbers first, and then we will wait for some pullbacks. As always, if you are familiar with the way that we trade, you should already know this by now. But if you are new to the live streaming, here's the ground rules. We don't react to numbers. We'll have to read the numbers, and then we will see what we will do depending on what the numbers will be. So today, of course, everybody's waiting for the U.S. Jobs report. First of all, the um, 1 second, I feel this is too high. So let me just take that a notch down so you can see the numbers. Yeah. So the U.S. jobs report is expected to add around 500,000 new jobs in for the month of September. And this is after the disappointment data that we saw last month, which was 235,000. But at the same time, we will be waiting for the 2 months revision, the change in the change in the private payrolls, which is expected also to add 450,000 new jobs. The ADP a few days ago also came in better than expected, which is kind of like not always a positive sign that the NFP will be also positive today. Manufacturing is expected to slow down a little bit, 25,000. Unemployment rate is 5.1%, which is also a little bit lower than the previous number. And the most important things that we will be watching, of course, is the average wages, because it's highly correlated with inflation. The year over year is expected to rise further to 4.6%, and the average all earnings on the month over month is expected to rise by 0.4%, but it's slowing down a little bit. But at the same time, any kind of numbers like higher than 4.6%, that would be another sign for the US dollar. So first, also, I would like to check our the trades that are still available. 1 second. Yeah, I guess this is much better. Yeah, I would like to check the trades that we sent out multiple times on FES website, or also Telegram, or the other ones. 1 second. Here's the remote. We have multiple trades this month, including, or not this month, this week, including the dollar CAD. We had shorts on it for the past few days. We're near our support, or near our final target, which is 25.10. But let's have a look at the CAD. I didn't open much of my charts for the past month. And again, I will be answering all of your questions very, very soon. So let's go ahead first. Also, before doing that, I'll see if that's the case. Yeah. Let's go first of all to the dollar index before we talk about anything for our trades. The dollar index is finally showing some life, and at the same time, we still are holding around the 94.50 and 94.25 resistance area. And today's data, but that's one of the things I'm kind of concerned about, that the technical indicators, at least for the time being, we're kind of like almost the overbought area. But this doesn't mean that we will be turning lower from here. It depends on what the data is going to be. That's for sure. But if the numbers are actually much better than expected on all of the data sets, that might actually push the dollar maybe this time toward 25, 20 or 95, which is, I don't think so that we'll be able to see it today. But I would like to see some more of a downside retracement. Maybe I would like to see it around like 93, 93.50 before I would actually start looking into more into another bull run. But from now until then, we will see what happens in the next few minutes after the data comes out. That's from technical point of view. Now, fundamentally, the dollar index will keep on rising mostly up until the end of December, when the Federal Reserve announces, or if the Federal Reserve will announce the tapering process, which is pretty much is getting priced in. It's not fully priced in yet, but if you remember back in June, when the Federal Reserve started to hint about started to hint about a possible tapering this year. This is when the dollar started to go back up, and since then the dollar index added over 4 points. And for the time being, this is what we will be watching, at least for now. We are also seeing this technical level, and this one is not something that we'll be looking at, and this is also another one. So I kind of feel like that we might be seeing some sort of a downside retracement this month or this today or after the session or because of the NFP today. So we'll see how it actually develop for now. The euro at the same time, the euro is very, 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 very oversold. That's why I'm not interested in any kind of like short positions, at least for the time being. Um, and at the same time, I would be more interested in some longs in the euro because we've been going down for quite some time. And at the same time, let's see, uh, yeah, the RSI is kind of like showing some sort of like support here, even like though like we were trading below the 1550 for quite just a little bit, but we're still kind of holding that support, which again might be like some sort of, I guess, like here, we might see some sort of buying here. That will be another opportunity. Maybe that we'll be looking at it today. Otherwise, if there will be any kind of a pullback to the upside, that one thing that I would like to see around maybe 117 to start shorting again. 1 second. Okay, so that's for the euro, at least for the time being. The British pound also, I'm still kind of short on it since last month. Remember the 61.8? I mean, if you didn't see that, but it's totally fine. But that's one of my shorts that went all the way from 139 all the way down to 134. So that's gonna, we're talking about like 400, 500, 500 pips. But at the same time, right now, we are actually faced with this area that is also is considered as another resistance area because it was support here multiple times, the first time, second time, and the third time, and then a break through that support, and now we're actually retesting. So I would lean toward more of a short on the British pound more than just to buy it. So I would still be interested for more over shorts. But as I said, I'm not going to be reacting to the number today. Um, as always, I'll just read the data first. I'm going to put it on the screen, and then we'll read the data first, and then see where we go from there. All right. That's another thing. British pound, dollar CAD was the same thing. It was a very nice short from 127.30. That was when our first short, and then 127.50. Let me just get some coffee. Um, yeah, so I'm still looking for 125, but I would actually like advise everybody if you're in that trade with us since the beginning of the week, I would advise like just to close it before the end of the, or not before the end, before actually the announcement of the U.S. jobs report and the Canadian jobs report, which will be announced in just like in almost just 10 seconds. The Aussie I am also short, but at the same time, I'm also short in the Aussie, and so far we're still seeing this kind of area that of where is that? This area here that it also represents another resistance area, but I would like to see another dip lower, even though that RSI is kind of showing some sort of a possibility of another leg higher. But at the same time, here we are within the 50 to 61.8. So as long as the Aussie keeps staying within this area, I'll be interested for more shorts. But again, before or since we're waiting for the US jobs report, I would be more interested um, in closing that trade. We also have the gold prices that actually started to show some sort of what is it called, stabilization, and at the same time, let's keep just put this one on ghost and this one on ghost. But there is the trend line on the daily chart that I've been watching for the past few days, and it did break briefly, and at the same time, we're seeing some sort of a stabilization here. So this is why I would be also interested to see what gold is going to do today, because again, like we tested that back in June, the flash crash that happened in August, a recovery, and then another a gradual decline, and now we're seeing some sort of a stabilization before the U.S. Jobs report and after the breakthrough of that trend line. So it will be interesting to see where gold is going to also end up today. If we're going to buy, any kind of stops should be below 170 or 1700 and 50. Let me just also where do you Aussie? I mean, as I said, like the Aussie and whoever like came just late about what we talked. We talked about the euro, we talked about the British pound, the dollar index. So we talked about the Aussie, the Kiwi, and also gold so far. So for the time being, we'll be just waiting for the data, which will be announced like in just 5 minutes, and by that time we'll see what we will do. Just give me a second. Also here, let me just get everything set up or everything to be clear for me, and we'll be with you just in a second. All right. All right. For Nasdaq, even the same thing. I guess it was like um, I'll be looking for some call options here. Well, can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me. Oh, now good. All right. Um, Nasdaq, I would be interested more to see what where we'll be ending up today. So far, futures. If we look at the futures today, let's see, U.S. futures, U.S. futures, U.S. futures. Uh, let's have a look at U.S. futures here. Yeah, U.S. futures currently. Oh, that's U.S. equities. I'm sorry. Where is futures? Here is U.S. futures. U.S. futures today is a little bit up 140 for um, Dow Jones. Am I correct? No. Hold on. We forgot to turn on the data, I guess. 1 second, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, forgot to turn on the data. But anyway, yeah. Uh, we are talking about 21 just for Dow Jones, only 20 for S&P 500 and S&P, sorry, 20 for Nasdaq, 100 and the S&P is just 4.25 points. Yesterday we saw some this huge bull run, and at the same time we ended the day slightly off the highs at around 373. 373. Here's the U.S. equity. Um, and that's the closing of yesterday. 300, we were up like almost like the 5 points, 500 points. But anyway, I think call options these days, like on Nasdaq or even S&P or even Dow Jones, I had like 3 days call options. But again, like here, if we're looking at it from a technical point of view, we're still not in the clear yet for the RSI or even uh, I would still suggest to wait a little bit and see what we will see today, because As long as we're below the 14,000, or yeah, 14,900 something, I would be interested more in shorts, not in longs. All right. Please show me your analysis of gold. We already talked about that. Uh, okay. Sorry. Also, let's have a look at Dow Jones DJI index. All right. Data is 194,000. That is not a good number, that much, even though, but at the same time, we have 194,000 new jobs. That's way below expectations. 2 months revision, they added 169,000. Private payrolls a little bit better, less than expected, better than before. Change in manufacturing also better than expected, but the unemployment rate is actually lower, but it's lower not because they added new jobs. So that's why the dollar is getting hammered now. 4.8% the unemployment rate, and the revisions last time is also getting revised right now. So wages is up on both sides, also 4% last time it was revised. It is going to be so confusing data for the time being. But let's see again. They revised the previous data to 366, but the actual data is 194. That's negative. 2 months revision, they added 196,000 new jobs. That's totally fine. Um, Change in private payrolls is also last month they revised it higher, less than expected. It coming also slower than last month. That's also negative. So slowing down, we have 2 months in a row. Manufacturing payroll slowing down, so that's another negative. 4.8, that's the only one. I don't see it that bad. Average hourly earnings, we're talking about 0.6%, which is as expected, but also higher than before and higher on the year over year. So we have like mostly negative because just the only thing that we're seeing here is basically the average wages is the only one. The year over year average wages is the only thing that is actually good. All right, G2, let's go ahead and see what we can do because you are the average wages. I mean, the only thing that is actually the good thing for the time being, just the average wages. Wouldn't be surprised to see. Um, all right. Do not react to the numbers. I'm still waiting and see how the market is going to react. But so far, what I can see, or from what I can see, at least right now here, is that most of the numbers are actually negative, including the unemployment rate, because the unemployment rate went down to 4.8%. Yes, but it went down because the participation rate has gone down. So the only positive number that we left with is 4.6%, which is the average hourly earnings on the year over year. That's why I'm not really looking into that much of positive dollar, which means that we might be able to buy some honeys. That's number one. Let's see futures, US futures wise, we're still up 40.64 on Dow Jones. S&P is also 30. S&P, Nasdaq is 30 and 7.5. Uh, all right. Well, the only positive number, which is that I can see, is the average wages. All right, and gold is already pricing in some sort. Where? Why did I do that? You go. The only thing that I can see that is actually really good, or might be concerning for the Fed, is the average hourly earnings on the year over year. It's 4.6 after 4% that was revised lower. So that might be actually the only thing that would push the Federal Reserve to start talking more about interest rate hike, um, not only just quantitative easing. Following the data closely, congratulations on your marriage. Thank you so much. Does the FAS level up bonus work? Yes, it does. War start now. The indicator is okay. NFP is out now. Yeah. So for the time being, I'm just going to keep it easy or take it easy. And let's see what we can do. CG. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. 1 second, because I'm just putting the data up. It's increased. Apparel. Yeah, I don't see it like very positive for the dollar. I would say it's half half. All right, even manufacturing here. I'm just putting in the headlines for the time being. I'm not going to react to the data yet. Uh, I need at least some sort of a pullback before uh, we think about it. All right, let's remove that. There it goes. All right, so the dollar is going down across the board currently, um, which is again. How the NFP, the next NFP affecting? All right, let's see. Here's the dollar index is back a little bit lower again. 93. Here's the euro. It might be a very good. All right, what else do we have? Gold is actually showing some life finally. So you. Yeah. All right. Well, I think so. We will just keep an eye right now and to wait for a pullback because we can't actually buy or even sell from the current data or from the current levels at least. So the British pound is at the high, the euro at the high. You have the Japanese yen at the lows, which is 1100 1160. Kiwi, Aussie, everything is actually going against the dollar because again, people might say, and here's the my explanation at least for the current situation. Everything is less than expected, including non-farm, private payrolls, manufacturing, and unemployment is high. Yeah, but at the same time, the unemployment is lower, not because they added enough jobs, but because the participation rate has slowed down further, 61.6. So the only positive data is 4.6%, which is the average hourly earnings on a year over year, which would still push the dollar because this is correlated to inflation, and this is why the dollar is actually going down. Now the question is, will this current move continue? Maybe we'll see after the opening of the U.S. session, which is going to be in less than an hour from now. But so far, U.S. futures are still adding more gains, 42. And we have also Nasdaq is up by 0.4% almost, so 61. We're still seeing some sort of an upside for the futures still. Yeah. We wouldn't be able to buy or sell here, at least at these levels, so we'll just watch and see what is going to happen in the next few more minutes. Gold is actually like giving some sort of a confirmation on the daily chart, which is I'm still interested to wait. Also, I wouldn't be interested to jump on it until we see some sort of a pullback. All right. My advice: do not buy on the high, or even do not even short on the lows. I would still prefer to wait for a pullback, as we always do. All right. All right, some questions are coming like about the pullback, guys. The pullback is what I'm talking about here. I mean, all right, let's have a look at 5 minutes charts, and we're using 5 minutes charts here just to tell you what the pullback is. So we've been going up since the beginning of the day, let's say, and then that would be a pullback. All right, that would be a pullback. Pullback means like just we're going not from the highs. Like now, whenever we say a pullback here, we should see some sort of a retracement to the downside. So a pullback, it's kind of retracement to the downside or the other way around. If we're going down, we need some sort of a retracement to the upside. So that's the pullback. It's not like a term, uh, sort kind of things. And thank you all for all your wishes for and your kind words. So the pullback, I hope it's clear. It's nothing like it's not a big deal. It's not like a theory. It's just, as I said, I can't just buy something when it's going up, like this way. It's at the highest level of the session. Why would I actually be buying something that is actually already going up? So I would like to see a pullback to the downside, at least 770, 65, before I even jump onto on the trade. So that's what the pullback is. Let's see the euro also one more time. So here's the pullback on the euro. Now we're seeing some sort of a retracement to the downside. All right. And if we will be seeing any kind of move, or if we will be joining any kind of move to the upside, 1570, 1567, I would might be interested in uh buying it one more time. That would be a possibility. But for the time being, I would prefer to keep an eye and just keep watching what is going to happen, because we are at the highest level of the session. I would still be interested. Same thing. Here's a pullback on the British pound. All right. We saw the first spike. We saw the first spike, and now we're kind of like pulling back down. So we hope that we can get uh, some. The yen is also at the lows, so that's the whole thing about pullback. All right. Someone is deeply disappointed with the US dollar. Why? It's been going up for a long time already, so we need some sort of a retracement. Let's look at the Aussie too. But well, that's one thing that is kind of like maybe. Uh, what do you want to buy? The US dollar? Nah, I wouldn't be doing that yet. Same thing here. There you go. So now the Aussie is kind of like pulling back down, 73.27. The only thing that I'm a little bit kind of concerned about that if the market's going to leave all the numbers and just concentrate on one thing, which is the average hourly earnings, which means that the entire move that we're seeing right now might be actually temporary. Um, yes, so I would give it a little bit more time before deciding on any kind of trades right here. we're still watching. Anyway, gold is the only one that's still all the way at the top. Silver is the same thing. Futures right now, US back down. Hmm. So that's kind of interesting now. All right, Nasdaq is up, but Dow Jones and S&P is turning lower, which might be sorry. That's well below expectations. Unemployment rate is lower. I'm the only thing that would give you again like some uh, so futures is kind of like mumbling between up and down, at least for the time being. Europe is, let's see, Europe on the right side. Europe is also kind of mumbling too. The only one is up at the FTSE MIB so far, but that's European equities. Mm-hmm. Asia, I mean, the closing of Asia today wasn't that much of an interesting. Anyway, all right, let's go back to US futures. All right, here's the pullback again. 1580 on the euro. It might be. The Aussie is the same thing. CAD, I was again the CAD I was short since 2730, and it was on FPS, and the target was 2510, which was also achieved earlier today or right after. So if we're gonna look at CAD today, I would not be interested in any shorts. I was 2730. Where was the short? It was a few days ago. Yeah, there we go. And CAD right now, I believe we are looking into deeper cuts. 2478 and 2367. Those are like two big possibility, but we should see some sort of a bounce right up from here. Anyway, it is going to be tricky day. So even though that it's the end of the week, but it's going to be very tricky. Um, so for the time being, I am still just watching. I did not place any kind of orders right now. I'm just watching. And British pound, let's see. Yeah, I don't think so. Like the British pound's going to be able to regain that one very easily. So we might actually jump on a possible trade here, which is the British pound on the daily chart. Yeah, you see that one here? That one thing that I'm not sure of, I don't think so that will be able to break that very easy. I just don't feel it. I just don't, I can't feel it much here. So, we might be able to jump onto a trade on the British pound today with kind of a stop. Maybe at the high of the day, that's it. Because what I think here, what's happening, at least for the time being. So even that the numbers are well below expectations, the dollar, of course, went down. But the only data that the Federal Reserve will be looking at, unemployment rate, they don't care about the participation rate, and the average hourly earnings with the year over year, which is 4.6%. That's why I was thinking about we could go short on the British pound, but not buy. That's why I think the current move that we're seeing. Oh, sorry, that's US. Here's US futures. The current move that we're seeing is some sort of in between. And I don't think so that the British pound will be able to break that up. So if that's the case, we might be in a good shape to short the British pound on the very short term. Because if the Federal Reserve is looking for inflation, so they will look at average hourly earnings 4.6%. Let's have a look real quick. G3, we might be able to short British pound real quick. Just one to do one. What happened? Okay. US. The 4.6% is the highest since what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. That is kind of concerning for the Fed. Let's go ahead and jump onto that because I believe that move might be a tricky move. Anyway, my first trade would be, or the first thing that I will be looking at today, I would like to go ahead with a possible short at the British pound. That would be my first thing, at least for the time being. Where we go is GPUSD. Yeah, I just don't think the British pound will be able to break that much higher from here. So I'm going ahead with a first trade. And it's going to be there we go. 138.83. Oh, what? 38.33 market. 136.40. I'm gonna go ahead with the first trade. 136. I got a 136.42. Of course, now it's 35. But let me put it on the screen. 136.42 and a half. That would be the first trade of the day. All right. $36.42 and a half, or 43. Let's stop at and the stop at today's high, by the way, not more than that. 1.36. We can put it 60 for now. All right. And here's the that is the first thing to keep an eye on. Where's the live one? Main CG. CG1 headline. Where is it? Where did that go? All right. CG1 headline. That will be the first trade for the day. Because first of all, I don't think so that we'll be able to break higher from here. It's kind of like too much on the daily chart and also on the short term. That's number one. Number two, the Federal Reserve might be looking at unemployment rate. It's below 4.8%, and the average earnings is higher, so correlated to inflation um, also higher. So I don't see it that the dollar is actually going to go lower much from here. Anyway, that's my first trade for the time being. 42 and a half short for the British pound. We might be able to go also with what? Oh, the Aussie actually. Let's see the Aussie because All right, so the same thing goes to Aussie. Look at this one. Same. I mean, it did break, but will it be able to stay? That's the question. Anyway, who took the British pound with us? We'll keep that right here and then wait. The stop is just nothing, all right? The stop is like very, very, very tight. We're actually in 2 pips profit. All right. No, it's short. It's selling, not you're selling, not buying. We're selling, not buying. That is the first one. And let's see what comes after. Aussie is still some sort of okay. Total consistency net income rupees. Yeah, well, let's see how it develops anyway. The in 30 minutes the US session will start. So we might not see that much of a move anyway from now until then. But here's the thing, or that's what I believe. The current move might be just temporary, because the Federal Reserve will look at, again, like unemployment and average hourly earnings. They're way up. They don't care about average hourly earnings, so oh, sorry, they don't care about participation rate, not much. So this might be a little bit negative, but at the same time, the Federal Reserve will be looking for more on. Anyway, yeah, we'll be looking more. Oh, the Federal, or at least let's have a look at. So what was it? Uh, let's have a look at the probability right now. So Fed Fund Futures is also, again, is up on December one is a little bit lower. Not much really. But it's higher than the previous one before. All right, let's go back. Let's see if gold will be able to hold here. But yeah, that's my the stop. Oh, there we go. Let me just put on the screen. The stop will be just like 60. That'll be the maximum stop. So we can actually put, where is it? Fill, oh, not curve. That would be, what did I do? I didn't ask for curve. Damn. No. Okay, anyway. Where is it? Here's it. Here's our stop. Let's change it to red. All right, update. All right, that would be my stop. 3660 maximum. I won't look much on that one. Guys, it's not a stop order, it's a market order. 136.43. That was the short. Live. Not a stop. It's not an order, it's a like market order. And we're not buying, we are short. So let me just fix that real quick because maybe some of you's short. There you go. Maybe that would explain it more on the headline. All right, I added like short sell, so it'd be a little bit, everybody would be on the same page. All right, I sold the British pound here. All right, right here, like 140. 136.42 and a half, or like 46 or 40, 43. Because first of all, the move is not excessive. The British pound is already on a huge resistance on the daily chart, and at the same time, the Federal Reserve will come out and just gonna say, okay, well, unemployment rate is lower. So anyway, um, the that's my first trade for the day, and we'll have to wait and see what happens in the next few minutes. 30 minutes up until the U.S. Session, or the U.S. equities to start. So let's see what we will do. All right, we'll see. Targeting as always, we're looking for at least 25 to 30 pips at the target. So right now we're like in 3 pips profit. uh, yeah, we shall see. All right, just a question: how many of you took that trade with us? I mean, the talk about the U.S. getting bankrupt, guys. It's an old story. That is an old. What is it? An old. I don't know what to call it. An old movie. It's every year. The U.S. will never go bankrupt. Like, what are you talking about? That's the debt ceiling. That's just the debt ceiling. All right. It happened before. It happened during Barack Obama. They did not reach a deal to raise the debt ceiling. Well, the what happened? They did not get bankrupt. They just closed the government. That's all. Was it again? I would just want to check. Was it G3? Was it the highest in 6 months? Was it 6 months? One, one, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8 months. All right. Okay. Just checking. G2. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. We're in 35, so we're almost in 10. I would look again, at least for 30 pips on that one. At least 30 pips. I hope if we go below 36, that would be good. If we go back to 35.80, that would be good. Not sure. Yeah, see, gold here is also kind of. Here's the indices. Let's look at some futures right now, just real quick. Yeah, so it's like, it's a bumpy ride for equities today too. It's still futures like up and down and all the way. Let me just check. Smuggled somehow. Yeah, the only thing that is actually putting more, or it's giving us also the same thing. Gold is still pricing in inflation. XAU. Gold is the only thing that is actually went back all the way up. So anyway, we shall see. Yeah, I mean 10 pips, but I mean we're still within. But again, we don't need to change. We don't need to change the stop. We keep the stop as it is. We keep the stop as it is and hope for the best. And futures back up. Also, 10-year yields is like 157. Not much of a deal. All right, so far that's the only trade that we have, and we'll just stick to it for the time being. And if there will be any kind of change, I will let you know. But for the time being, do not change your stop. Our stop is at 136.60. No change for that one, at least for the time being. The only thing that is actually like going for new levels so far is gold and silver, which is again pricing in more inflation. Um, and that's why I don't really think that the current move might actually continue. So after the beginning of the US session, we might see a different what is it called? A different picture. But for the time being, we will just stick to this trade for now. And again, like we're in profit. Just I know it's just like 2 pips in profit, but if you're afraid, you can get out. You're in break even. But yeah, my stop is at 36.60 for the time being. I'm not gonna change it. I'm gonna keep it, and then it is what it is. What happened next? Let it be. All right. Nothing else for the time being. I'm not entering anything. We might be able to enter another trade if things progress like from now until 5:30. So we will wait and see. Even Europe right now. Where is Europe? U.S. equities. Where is it? There you go. FTSE is the only one. FTSE MIB is the only one up higher, like 51 points, and also FTSE in the UK just 5 points. But so far, if you look at, again, what did I do? Yeah. Let's see. We have like 3 candles, 15 minutes, lower lows, lower highs. Where is it? Or I'm going to take that. All right, well, that's good. Gold, I can buy it here. I mean, you can buy it just at the highest level of the session. Definitely not. Yeah, I'm still kind of in a. I mean, the trade is in a very good shape so far. Target, I would be at least 30 pips, as I said. At least we would look for at least 30 pips. The euro is not showing much really too. Oh, let's have a look also the euro. I don't want to take like 2 major currencies like at the same time. But here's also lower highs for 3 times in a row. Uh, Same thing here, and see if you'll be able. It's the same. It's kind of the same scenario. Kind of the same scenario. And if this is the right cycle, we already left from 1585. So that might not be a bad idea also to short the euro if you don't like the British pound. Anyway, about 15 minutes until the beginning of the US session. Um, and everything might change from now until then, so we shall wait and see. Now let's have a look something else. Take on that, put it all the way in. What time is it now? Yeah, 5. Let's have a look at time. So, here's all the way to 19. I'm right here, not going anywhere. We might do the same for the euro. Yeah, we might actually short the euro too. If this candle also did the same thing, which is again lower high, we're failing to breaking new highs. We're failing to post new high. All right. I'm gonna go also with the euro. Another trade here. I am going to short the euro one more time and see what we can do. Trade, new order, sell by market, which is 1878. Not limit by market, my friend. Market, and then 1570 is my short on the euro. 1570, 1.1570. And I'm going to post it on the screen for you to see it. And then, all right, so second trade, shorting. Even though it's, oh, there, 115.70. Stop at today's high. Also, the same thing for the euro. Or not risking much, 1.1542. Oh, no, 1586. Let's put it 1588. All right. And here's your new trade. That is our second trade also for the euro. The British pound now is like almost like 10 pips for with us. Excuse me, sorry. Let's see what happens. Let's go back to the British pound. I mean, look at that. There we go. I just don't see it breaking that up higher easily. So that short that we saw today, gold 1780, which is, here's the British pound. Why I don't think so it's going to be that much. It is most likely on the daily chart. It's most of the time it's unlikely to break that higher. Like after 3 times to break it lower, it's going to be hard to break it. So we'll stick to this one for the time being. The euro on the daily is very weak, but I don't like to short it much here. But this one's going to be just for a very, very short period of time because on the daily chart, the euro is kind of oversold. But let's see, what do we do? Lower highs for the past 15 minutes at least. So let's see where we are going to take this one. 115.88 is our stop for the euro. British pound is almost 10 pips in, and gold it keeps on pushing higher. US futures, let's see, there we go, 27. Nasdaq is the most. As for the US indices, again, the opportunities was not just today, it was just literally yesterday or the day before. After like 5 days of consecutive declines, I don't see why people would not actually buy it. But anyway, let's wait and see the opening of the US session, which is going to be in like 10 minutes. From now until then, we will just keep watching and nothing much we will be done. We're just going to explain the debt ceiling concept. I mean, again, it's like a movie. I mean, you can read about it like online. It's not that big of a deal, but because they always put limit on the maximum debt that the U.S. can actually generate or the U.S. can actually like borrow. So now they are actually near that debt or near that limit. And the Congress, including the Senate and the House of Representatives, they need to agree to raise that limit. All right. to raise that limit. So far there's no deal between both parties, but at the same time, I don't think so. Though anything is going to happen, even if they actually reach, even if they didn't reach it, because again, like Democrats doesn't need Republicans to vote because they can easily vote because they have the Senate and they have the House of Representatives. All right, here's the euro. How are we doing? TP is also the same thing. At least we're looking for 25, 25 to 25 to 30 pips. Look at that beauty. There we go. Let's look at that chart first. Did you like that? All right, British pound, we're over 10 pips in, are we? All right, British pound, we have 16. We have 16 pips in, 17 and a half. Look at that. Again, take profit for both. We're talking about at least 25 pips before we close uh, half of the trades. All right, for the British pound, if any of you is afraid to lose money today, you can just basically move the stop to your break even, to your entry. If you are afraid, if you're in a bad shape in trading today, you can just move your stop to break even. I'm going to keep it as it is for the time being. I need a little bit more downside to see. But as I said, I still believe that the current move that we saw is temporary. And one of the reasons why, because gold is still um, pricing in inflation. That's why gold is at 1780. Yeah, I think we are in a very good shape. All right, how many people took those two trades, the euro and the British pound? I want to see raising hands. Celebrate it. I mean, it's early to celebrate, but if you guys insist, um, we can easily. I'm not sure what actually happened now, but anyway. Yeah, there was some sort of lag. All right. Okay. Well, you got your celebration. Okay. We wait and see. I can feel there's some sort of lag. I'm not sure why. Shouldn't be lagging this much. What? You didn't know whether to sell or buy? That's on the screen. Second trade, short euro at 115.70. And here's the second trade. We're going to post it also on the screen and take that off. All right. Take that on thing off. Is it the speed? What is it exactly? Just trying to figure out why this is happening. Why the lag? Well, at least it's from this side, not from the others. Oh, no wonder. Sorry about that. Oh, Xbox out. How about dollar yen? Nothing much really. We will just, for the time being, we'll keep doing what we're doing and just wait for, um, we will just wait for more data, or, yeah, I'm not sure what exactly happened on this one here. Just saving the project, and it is kind of lagging for some reason. All right, I'm just gonna restart the system real quick before the market open. Sorry about that. There it goes, Lee. I'm right here, but I just had to restart the system for a second, real quick. Main. Let's do ticker. Let's do main screen camera. We don't need main screen camera top. Okay. And then we do. All right, we're back in. Okay, now it's much better when we talk about it. Now, if we want to celebrate, it's gonna look even much better. And let's celebrate again. See, that's what I thought. I don't know. Okay, so we got in a good shape on both the euro and the British pound. Anyway, we have less than 2 minutes away before the U.S. stock market opens. Now today, Dow Jones is up 36 points, and S&P 12 points, and Nasdaq 72 points so far. Well, we celebrated too, but we celebrated also early today because we don't know after the U.S. Session open what is going to happen. Today, so far, we have the British pound 15 points, 15 points in. The euro is just like 3 points or 4 points in. As I said, if you are like afraid of losing any kind of money today, you can just easily put your stop at break even for the British pound because we're 15 points in. I can see all of the other majors, including the Kiwi, the Aussie, also starting to turn lower, or let's say kind of like a pullback. But for the time being, we will just keep on those two trades and wait and hope for the best. We have 1 more minute or less than 30 seconds until the opening of the U.S. session. So we will just put the U.S. We will put the U.S. on the right side, U.S. equities on the right, and then we will see the opening and what is going to happen. Oh, we don't need to see. Oh, I mean, we're 10 seconds in, or before 10 seconds before the opening. All right. So we're in a good shape on both sides. Maybe we might actually take some gold. Who knows? But we'll have to wait. All right, here's the opening. All right, Dow Jones is up by 34 points at the beginning of the session. Nasdaq, S&P is a little bit delayed here, so but Nasdaq 100 is 41. Nasdaq Composite is also 38 points so far, and Dow Jones is only 30. So for the time being, we are still looking good here. And let's see how the dollar is going to react in the first minute of the session. What else I wanted to do? I wanted to have a look at some options here. Oh, look at that, 140. Call options still up. All right, well, we're still in a good shape. Here's new lows on the British pound too. At the start of the session, there's Kiwi, Aussie. Everything is kind of like turning back or like pulling back. But we also will wait and see. Uh, Not really big of a move so far, but that's fairly normal. Let's go back and have a look at our trades. So far we have, let's take that off. That's a British pound. All right, we are 20 pips profit on the British pound. 21. It is still looking promising, so that's fine so far. Or 17, back to 17, that's fine. Jeffrey Speed, remote taking, that's not a big deal. Gold is still, yeah, I guess we'll just stick to these two for the time being. I'm not going to change anything else. Um, Here's also dollar yen is started to perk up. Dollar cat 25. No, I mean I use daily. This one, the one on the chart is like 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes chart. But I most of the time I use daily charts. That's why one of the reasons why I did not, or why I did actually short the British pound today. I don't see it like actually able to recover above that. See the one that we saw here back in July, support all the way up, another time in August, all the way up, another time here in September at the end. But then we saw this huge drop. So now we're just kind of, this is kind of just a retest of that broken support. One of the reasons why I actually went short today is basically the daily chart again. And the RSI is still below 50, so we're kind of like still in a good shape. Anyway, um, I hope that this move continues to our favor. But so far, the British pound we're in like almost 20 pips, and the euro just like 7 pips so far. Nothing much really with the U.S. equities. Just 18 points for Dow Jones, Nasdaq also 30, and Nasdaq Composite Index 35. Nothing much really happening. No big reactions so far, but as I said, I don't think so that the US dollar decline after the news is going to continue for a long time because the Federal Reserve is likely, most likely, will continue to um, taper the current QE in December, and the market needs to keep on price again that. Um, After an important, it's always instant, and as you can see it on the chart, it's already there. Here's the euro on the 2019. Look at that beauty. Where did we short? Where was the short? Let's see. 43 and a half. Was it 42 or 43? Sorry. I did not see that. Catch that coming. Da, 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 da. Not headlines, man. CGs. 43. Let's look at 1 point. Oh, no, no. See where we did short? That's the short. See why we don't react to the numbers? Read the number correctly. Let's go back to it. Eco. The market reacted on the data, the initial data, all right, which is, a non-farm payroll was disappointing. Yes, it is disappointing. The dollar went down, including non-farm payrolls, 194, way below expectations, way even below 50% below expectations. Private payrolls also below expectations, below the previous revisions also. 26,000 for manufacturing, not bad, but it's fine. The good number here is 4.8, which is the unemployment rate, but it was not because they added too much jobs or a lot of jobs, just because the participation rate is down. So that decline in unemployment rate is technical decline. It's not a real decline. All right. But the one important thing that the Federal Reserve will keep an eye on is the 4.6%, the average wages. Higher wages means higher inflation. The Federal Reserve need to continue to stick with its plan to taper the QE in December. End of the story. That's the whole thing. All right. I don't think so. I need to explain anything else for anybody or like why we did do that. Here we go. You got like 26, 27 points on the British pound. And for that reasons, we are celebrating one more time. Next time we will do like some music stuff maybe. All right, you got your 30 pips for the British pound. If you would like to close it, go ahead and close it. If you want to keep it, just move your stop to break even and let it burn. And if you're asking what the break even is, the break even is the entry. All right, if you're afraid to lose today, you can just put the stop where you entered and let it burn. The worst case scenario would be the worst case scenario that you won't lose any money. And the best case scenario, it's open. All right, there we go. What else? Let's see. Ow. Well, looks like Wall Street turned lower. So that's another thing. That's another thing. Dow Jones is down by 65 points, which gives you the idea. Well, the market is actually getting worried about the Federal Reserve taper the QE. Do you need explanation more than that? I don't think so. I'll leave the rest. I'll leave the rest to you guys to decide. If you want to close the trade, go ahead and close it. If you want to keep it, go ahead and keep it. Just maintain your risk, maintain your stop, and know what you do. Now, gold is turning lower again, or not lower, but pulling back, let's say. But gold is um, pricing in inflation. All right, so where we have like 10 pips on the euro and 30 pips on the British pound. So we are up 40 pips so far. I'll take that as a daily target. What do I do now? Nothing, just watch. And don't forget, it's the end of the week too. So the reaction is likely to continue maybe for like another hour tops because most of the people here in the States, they will go home early and enjoy their weekends early. I closed my trade on gold just before it changed. All right, well, I did not trade gold today. All right, so whatever you guys want to do today, go ahead and do it. You got your 30 pips on the British pound and so far 10 on the euro. Whatever happens next, let it be. Just maintain your stops and keep it going. It's a bumpy ride today on Wall Street today. Have a look. I mean, you can still hold it until the end of the day. You can hold it until next week if you want, because on the daily chart is not really refreshing much. So you can still do that. Uh, but again, since it's the end of the week, take as much as you can and just, you know, be safe. You never know what's going to happen over the weekend. So we'll just wait for now because half of the move is now recovered. I mean, if you look at dollar yen, it's basically halfway. Oil is also back up again, $79 for West Texas, 83 for Brent crude. Wall Street is back up also, so that's still something. Yeah, well, that's good. All right, well, I guess that's another successful day. And here we see what is going to happen next. So let's take that off because US equities is on a bumpy ride. Should we also sell gold? No, I wouldn't sell gold. Mm-mm. Usually, yes. Usually, yes, but doesn't mean that it will continue. Not always. Not always. But well, anyway, let's see what happens from now for another like 30 minutes or so. But I guess our mission is done for the day. Um, I mean, again, you need to read the data the right way. Uh, it's not just black or white. Like, oh, it's positive or it's negative. It doesn't. You can't just look at it this way. Like the numbers are green, they'll go ahead and like home run. But it's not about that. Home run would be like the one that we saw back in June, I guess. That was a home run. But this one, no, because most of the data are actually less than expected. But again, unemployment is lower, regardless if why the unemployment rate is lower. The Federal Reserve doesn't even care why. They just care about okay, well, our unemployment rate is going down to 4 point whatever, and wages is still up. So that's what matters to the market. So right now, even Dow Jones doesn't even know where to go. I mean, have a look. Dow Jones is trying like up and down, up and down, up and down. Doesn't even go. Doesn't even know where to go. There you go. I mean, now equities turning lower. So the market is kind of confused too. It's not that you are the only one. Anything about stocks? I don't have anything on my scans today, but I have like call options on SPY since 3 days. It should expire today, so I'm hoping uh that calls are be in our favor. But so far, nothing much really on my scans today. I hope none of you traded C what was that? CIE? CI because it got crushed and then back up again. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, yeah, we're back, and today was the first live stream, even though like my office is not fully finished yet. There's a lot of things around. I mean, you don't see it because of the green screen, but uh, it should be done maybe by in the next few days, probably, hopefully during the weekend. 1770. Even gold is, yeah, I think we might actually, I mean, I won't be surprised if the British pound goes back down to 36, 36 today. Yeah, another 20 pips from here. That would be easy. That would be easy. Here's the euro again. Also at the lows of the US session. Gold got knocked out. Yep, it did. Yes, it did. Let me see if I can sit down because I'm actually not sure if I can. Anyway, leave it. No worries. Look at that. Nice dip again of 36.17. Yeah, where there is a possibility that we can actually see 136 on the British pound today. And here's the euro. 13 points on the euro since the short. Oh, which one is the one that asked us to update? Was it PayPal? No, trading Aussie today? Nah. I mean, it was almost the same move for everyone. See if it's gonna go back down all the way down today. So, uh, I hope so. Wait, where was it? undoes that. Anyway, sorry, I was just reading some stuff here. Let me just go back and read. Cool pips for myself. Congrats. I will like to see you. Okay, gold is pulling back as well. Any trade? No, nothing on gold. Nothing on gold currently. Yeah, I guess we might we might end this soon actually, since we are in profit on both. I would be more than interested to take whatever we can and just get out of here and go and enjoy your early weekend. Because again, here it is still very, very, very early. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning now. All right, well, I guess that'll be it for the day. Now, US equities are down again. Dow Jones is 65 points lower. Now, everything has gone down. And as I said, most of the time, it's again like the end of the week after the non-farm payroll. So the move is always at just the beginning of the first 1 hour or the first maybe just 30 minutes, and then that'll be it. Um, anyway, I think whoever wants to, take the profit and just leave, that's totally fine. I'm gonna actually like not gonna be able to stay. I mean, there's no need for us to stay until the end of the US session. But as I said, if you're afraid to lose, you can just set your stop at break even and let it be or let it run. And yeah, I guess that would be it. Anyway, I'll leave the stream open also. I can leave the stream open until further notice. If there's any kind of moves or any kind of updates, I will keep you guys posted. But yeah, that'll be it for today, I guess. When is the next live? I'm not sure yet, but we will soon start the daily lives, or not daily, well, like weekly live. But very soon we should agree on it with FES just in the next few days. Yeah, EuroCAD. Let's have a look. EuroCAD. Oh, my. Okay, well, EuroCAD has been going down for 8 days in a row. What did you do? I am wondering to buy. Well, that's not a bad idea. I mean, that's a good thinking. It's been going down for 8 days. Yeah, uh, that is a possibility. But you really, I mean, it's a good risk though. It's a good risk reward ratio because again, like it's been going down for 8 days in a row. So I would not be surprised if we see like some sort of a bounce. But if that's the case, now your question would be which one would be moving faster? Is it going to be the Canadian dollar or the euro? Because here the euro is going down and the Canadian is kind of like stabilizing. So it's I'm just laughing because of the headline. It's like breaking news on Bloomberg saying the European Union could lift ban on the UK sausages. I mean, breaking news in red. Why not to trade crypto on Binance? I don't trade like day trade crypto. I have like crypto from 2016. So Yeah, so about the EuroCAD, that is still actually kind of a possibility. I mean, it's a good like to risk it because again, like it's been 8 days, and even like though we saw that 8 days, you have like one day out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't recall when was the last time that this actually happened. 12 days in a row, 11 days out of 12 days, EuroCAD to go down. Mm, I really don't recall when was that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, and then out of the 7 days, 11. Out of 12 days, we have 11 days going down. I don't recall when was the last time we saw the same kind of the same move. Uh, like 11 days. That actually never happened over a decade ago. Anyway, yeah, that would be a possibility for the EuroCAD, but you need again like to manage your risk because we don't know for how long. 44.55 on daily. Yes, I would definitely look into buying that. Weekly, you still have that much of a possibility here, which is around, I don't know. I mean, you might get stuck here, which is again, that would be a good idea around. That's the area that you might need to keep an eye on, but your risk should be a little bit less than that. So, all right. ماس we will do راح نعمل عرض ان شاء الله قريبا قريبا يعني خلال الشهر هذا. Sorry, I had to. Okay, what about USD CAD? Same thing. XAU USD 73. Nothing much really is happening anyway right now. I mean, I guess the week is done. Um, yeah, nothing much really happening here. I mean, even weekly gold is still kind of in between. Let's go gold. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So we'll keep that on uh, the British pound. As I said, whoever went into these trades, congrats for joining us today, and hopefully, yeah. I need. As I said, if you want to just take whatever you want or take whatever you get, you can just easily take that and leave on a early weekend, and we see you on the next what is it called on another live. If you would like to keep it, you can keep it, but mind your risk. I would advise everybody if you're gonna keep that trade, you just make sure you don't change your stop or change it to your break even. That's maximum. Okay. I'm still in these trades, but over 40 pips, 45 pips, but that's not stocks. I still have like some options on US stocks, and so far we're kind of looking good on. I have like some calls on SPY and Nasdaq, so well, let's see what do we do over the next hour or so. But on the scans, nothing much really on stocks today. IFRX, it was a failure. RIN, it was a good one. Oh, Yell is kind of getting back to it. All right. Anyway, thank you all for coming and joining us today. And how long should we hold for next week? It all depends on you. But if we don't get any new high today, just leave it until next week. But I would say that we will be able to go back to 135.50 at least. That's only if it continues to go down from here. All right. The euro is the same thing. British pound is the same thing, same trade. If you want to take everything you got, go ahead. You're still in profit, even if it's small. You can do that. Otherwise, you can leave it until next week. All right. You can follow us on our Again, social media sites, also the Telegram, as the guys from the support already texted. Subscribe to the channel. Follow the FBS analytics on Telegram. It's already in the comments. You can check it, and that would be actually it for today. And I hope you guys made some pips. But as I said again, like reading the market, as I always say, you do not need to react to all the data whenever it comes out. You need to read it first, understand what does it mean, not for you as a trader, but does it mean for the Federal Reserve or the other central banks, and then you can react to the data. All right, I'll leave the live stream open, or I don't know if it's actually. Yeah, there's no need actually to keep it open. But anyway, go enjoy your weekend and enjoy your early weekend after these kind of small trades that we done. And we'll see you guys next time somewhere around, I don't know, next week maybe. But anyway, we'll send out a list of the live streaming that we'll be doing very soon. But that'll be it for the time being. All right, and for those who missed the celebration today, here is a celebration. All right, have a good one, and we'll see you guys very soon.